Hey up internet, and welcome back to On the Sofa Live Extra. I'll start that again actually. Hey up internet, and welcome back to On the Sofa Live Extra. If you're new, do subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay in the loop. Okay. Welcome to On the Sofa Live Extra. This is the occasional live stream that I do so that I can share the news stories that I didn't get time to share on the regular stream. And this is going to become a semi-regular thing. I don't think it's going to be every week, maybe every fortnight. I don't know. Watch this space. But certainly every time there's an overflow of news stories that didn't make it into the regular live stream on Thursday night, I'll most likely do one of these to fit in the segments that I didn't get time to fit in. So let's make a start. Let's share the screen. So Hassan Piker and Shank Yuga have been banned from entering the UK. Let's hear what Hassan Piker had to say about this.
You cannot appeal this decision. But my visa has also been revoked. We just found out. As it stands currently, I don't believe that I'll be able to go to the United Kingdom this upcoming week. I was supposed to do something with Yanis Varoufakis, do something with Zach Polanski, do something with Jeremy Corbyn, do something at the Oxford Union, and now the Labour government has revoked our visas. A sad state of affairs where obviously the interests of Israel take the highest priority. Dear Hassan Doan Piker, your UK ETA has been cancelled. This means you cannot travel to the UK without a visa. This is because your presence in the UK is not considered to be conducive to the public good. You cannot appeal this decision. This is a warning. I hope you guys understand. The Western world and liberal democracy is a sham, and all of the supposed things that they claim to care about, they do not actually care about. We are moving into a very different timeline. This is why I constantly reiterate that fascism is here, like the administration trying to deploy subpoenas against political dissidents in the United States of America, or the UK that's like completely captive to the interests of pro-Israel advocacy organizations. And this is the liberal government, right? The Labour government is supposed to be the liberal government doing this, and the American government is the right-wing government doing it. Like we are in the 1930s era. I was supposed to speak at the Oxford Union alongside Cenk. I was supposed to speak at South by Southwest and also do another interview with Yanis Varoufakis. But Jewish groups call on UK to bar dangerous Hassan Piker amid anti-Semitic attacks. And they did, because Israel advocacy organizations have unbelievable amounts of power over what even the United Kingdom has to say and do. It's totally fucking ridiculous, dude. I genuinely did not think this would happen. This is straight up fucking fascism. That's it. Israel is a fascist country, and it gets to enforce its bidding upon other countries, the Western liberal democracies that are supposed to protect and preserve speech. Even if they don't have a First Amendment like we do here in the United States of America, they're supposed to have reason. Like good reason. This is not one of them. Being critical of Israel while effectively combating anti-Semitism is not a good enough reason to bar someone entry into the country. Ironically enough, one of my famous speeches that I delivered was at Oxford Union, which is what I was supposed to attend. I warned the Western governments and I warned those who were worried about anti-Semitism that this dangerous association between anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism, this conflation between Judaism and Zionism, was going to create an environment where anti-Semitism would manifest. We've already been living in that universe, and it is very clear to me that this is happening. Okay, well.
And he's right, of course. This is not democracy. This is not freedom of speech. This is not freedom of expression. We don't live in a true democracy if we allow another state, in this case Israel, to dictate who can and who cannot come into our country to speak. And he's right about this being a fascist state that we're currently living in. People always say that we need to vote for the Labour Party to keep out the fascists, but the fascists are already here. We already have a fascist party in government. Or at the very least, we allow a fascist dictatorship rule us, and decide who comes in and who doesn't, and decide what is anti-Semitism and what isn't. It's a ridiculous state of affairs. It really is. Excuse me. And Navarra media have written this article about it. The headline reads, Hassan Piker, So I start that again. This is an article from Navarra media about this. Hassan Piker, Cenk Uygur denied entry to UK over Palestine support. The left-wing US commentators were banned for criticizing Israel by Joshua Carroll. This was written on the 1st of June. The article says this: two prominent US commentators say they have been banned from entering the UK this week because of their outspoken stances against Israel's genocide in Gaza. Hassan Piker, who streams to an audience of millions on his Twitch channel, and Cenk Uygur, who hosts the Young Turks political talk show, were both due to appear at SXSW London, a music, film and technology festival. They were also planning to give talks organised by Oxford University students. I've been banned from the UK, Uygur wrote on X. I tried to get on a flight to London to attend SXSW London and give a speech at Oxford. I've been banned for criticising Israel. Are we free anymore? Yeah, that is a good question. Are we free? Are we truly free? If Israel is dictating to us what we can and cannot do, what we can or cannot say, what a ridiculous situation. This is oppression of Western citizens by our own governments on behalf of a different country. Piker replied to the post and wrote, "The UK has revoked my visa as well, all at the behest of Israel. The West is betraying liberal values for a genocidal fascist foreign government. Soon we will all become Israel." He added on Twitch that he had planned to take part in events with Green Party's leader Zach Palansky, former Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn, and former Greek finance minister Yanis Varoufakis. A sad state of affairs, Piker said, where obviously the interests of Israel take the highest priority. On the same stream, he read from a letter informing him his UK electronic travel authorisation had been cancelled because your presence in the UK is not considered conducive to the public good. That's pathetic. Not conducive to the public good. That is ridiculous. That is nonsense. It comes after pro-Israel Labour MP David Taylor called on the Home Office to ban pica last week. This is a warning, Piker said. The Western world and liberal democracy is a sham. Yuga, who co-founded the Young Turks in 2002, said on X, "It's an honor to have made Israel's enemies list. I'm very proud to have fought against their genocide." The mighty United Kingdom is afraid of speech that shows you who's responsible for those war crimes, but no amount of censorship will get us to stop telling the truth. The Young Turks has more than 6.6 million subscribers on YouTube and also broadcasts across various other platforms. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Do we really live in a democracy? Do we really have freedom of speech? I'm sure if Cenk Uygur and Hassan Piker wanted to come and criticize Russia, there wouldn't be a problem. Or even if they wanted to come to the UK to criticize Keir Starmer, there probably wouldn't be a problem with that either. But because they're criticizing Israel, they're banned. They're barred from entering the country. And that's ridiculous. Do we have freedom of speech in this country or not? Do we have a true democracy, or do we have a dictatorship where Israel is dictating to us what we can and cannot say, what we can and cannot do? It's a ridiculous state of affairs. And I think on one hand, it could be argued that we need to vote Labour in order to keep out the fascist Reform Party. But on the other hand, it could be argued that we already have fascism, or very close to fascism anyway. We certainly don't have a true democracy. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Okay, let's move on to the next story. I think I can close that one now. Yes. Yes, I think I'll do this one. Elon Musk tweeted this: Hitler was also left, just a different type of left, hardcore socialist. And he got owned into next week. Let's read some of the replies. This first one is hilarious. This propaganda tweeted, "Hey Grok, was Hitler a hardcore socialist?" And Grok replied, "No, Hitler was not a hardcore socialist in any conventional sense. The Nazi Party's full name included National Socialist, and its 1920 25-point platform had some anti-capitalist rhetoric to appeal to workers, e.g. nationalizing trusts, profit sharing, but Hitler redefined socialism to mean national, racial solidarity and the common weal, explicitly rejecting Marxism, class conflict, and communism as Jewish plots. In power, the Nazis banned socialist communist parties and trade unions, purged and murdered actual leftists, e.g. Night of the Long Knives, targeted Strasserrites, allied with big business and industrialists, retained private property and profits for compliant firms while directing the economy towards autocracy and war. It was fascist authoritarian nationalism with heavy state control, not socialist worker ownership or egalitarianism. The label was mostly propaganda. Imagine getting fact-checked by your own AI bot. That is embarrassing. That is utterly embarrassing. Pastor Ben said this: "You have to be Elon Musk dumb to believe that shit." Shahir said, "You pushing the dumbest historical revisionism online again. Hitler was left-wing hardcore socialist. No, you clown. The Nazis were far-right fascists who crushed trade unions, privatized state assets for their corporate backers, murdered socialists and communists by the thousands, and allied with German industrialists. National Socialism was marketing. They hated Marxism and equality. They believed in racial hierarchy, authoritarian nationalists, and corporate state fusion, textbook far right. You're not smart for saying this. You're just another rich idiot rewriting history to own the libs." Yes, exactly. Potato of reason. So you're a hardcore socialist. And he simply posted this GIF comparing his salute with the salute of an actual Nazi. Yes, exactly. Very telling, isn't it? WW2, the Eastern Front, said Hitler literally built the first concentration camp, Dachau, for communists and social democrats. You stupid fuck. Cody Johnston said, "By pretending to believe this and regularly spreading it around, you were unsurprisingly engaging in Nazi propaganda. Fuck yourself, you dumb prick." And again, there's the gif of him doing the Nazi salute from two different angles. It's definitely a Nazi salute, isn't it? There's no doubt about it. All I Do Is Newen posted this: "Yes, Hitler and the Nazi regime systematically persecuted, imprisoned and killed socialists, communists and trade unionists en masse. Socialists were among the very first targets of the regime and the first people imprisoned in concentration camps like Dachau when it opened in 1933. Key historical points regarding this include initial purges. Once Hitler became Chancellor in 1933, the Nazis banned all rival political parties, primarily targeting the Social Democratic Party and the Communist Party. Adam said, This is a common misconception, Elon. You're 100% wrong on this. Hitler was extremely anti-socialist. The Nazi name is actually intentionally misleading. And he's posted a list of facts as well. Hail, Mr. Satan, posted this meme. National Socialists were socialist. I dig in, bro, since it's called a urinal cake. Yeah, it's very droll. Appetizers said, this is supposed to be the smartest guy on the planet, by the way. Bernie Sanders, a parody account, said, comrades, we are not Hitler. Hitler was an amateur. We communists killed over 100 million people. 100 million. Not 6 million. 100 million. That is real equality. We didn't discriminate by race. We killed everyone equally. The working class, the peasants, the intellectuals, the children, all equal in the grave. This is true socialism. The 5-year plan is perfect. Yeah, that is hilarious. That's actually quite funny. Michael Hinrichs said Hitler wasn't a socialist and is considered far right. In fact, Hitler destroyed actual socialists and annihilated the labor unions. Socialist in propaganda only. Utmost respect for you, Elon. But in this instance, you are incorrect. Why his utmost respect for him, I don't know. But I'm sure he has his reasons. Joseph Mothers said Elon has a fetish for making himself look like a fucking moron. Wirtz said Hitler was a hardcore socialist. Elon Musk. LMAO dude, even Grok fact checks you on this constantly. You could not be more wrong on this. Please study history, please. And there's loads of tweets like this. He got fact checked into next year, into next century. How embarrassing for him. How utterly embarrassing. Imagine getting fact checked by your own AI bots. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Absolutely embarrassing. What an idiot. Unbelievable. Okay. Somebody else made a twat of himself on X. I knew there was a reason why I should have stayed logged in. I've got to find it now. It shouldn't be long. I think, yes. Yes, I think I bookmarked it. Here we go. Okay. Excuse me. Zia Yusuf has made a complete fool of himself on X. He said this: white people are now demonstrably the biggest victims of racism in Britain. Oh, that is so hilarious. Oh my God. He's an idiot. He is an idiot. And as you can imagine, he got owned into next century. Mukhtar said this: "You really will do and say anything at this point. This is factually untrue, but keep twerking, lad." Nihal, sorry, I can't pronounce that surname. He said this: "You are genuinely one of the most loathsome sellouts I have ever witnessed in public life." India Willoughby said, "The trans community say, hi, Zia, yoo-hoo. Gender critical is racism for trans people." The Receipts UK said Zia Yusuf is Reform UK's chairman, not a random commentator. When the chairman of a political party with 1,444 council seats makes a claim this inflammatory, it is worth asking what evidence he is citing. The answer is none. The data on hate crime, employment discrimination, and housing discrimination and stop and search does not support this claim by any measure. He knows that. This is not analysis. It is a recruitment post. Yeah, exactly. He's dog whistling to reform supporters. He's dog whistling to people who are, who that sentence got away from me a bit. He's dog whistling, isn't he? He's dog whistling to racists, basically, who I'll try that again. He is dog whistling to racists whose votes he wants for reform. That's all he's doing. Sue, hashtag NHS love, hashtag FBNHS, said, "You are demonstrably not Shadow Home Secretary. You must be elected as a Member of Parliament to the House of Commons. You're demonstrably not elected to anything." Greg Herritt said, "Reform are a parody of a political party." Martin said this: "Just telling the racists what they want to hear, stoking up their sense of victimhood and grievance at the expense of every non-white minority in the UK. You really are despicable." Jane Doherty said, "Utter drivel, shame on you." It's always worth looking to see what Danny fucking Price has to say as well. Danny fucking Price had this to say: "White people are now demonstrably the biggest victims of racism in the UK. Shut the fuck up, you chapstick lacking wanker." He always has the best insults. It's brilliant. Here are the facts according to the government's own data. In 2025, Black people experienced racially aggravated offences at a rate of 41 victims per 10,000. Asian people experienced racially aggravated offences at a rate of 24 per 10,000. White people experienced racially aggravated offences at a rate of 3 per 10,000. Here are some more facts to remember. Black people are between 6 and 8 times more likely to be stopped and searched by police in UK compared to white people. Black children are 8 times more likely to be strip searched by police than white children in the UK. The latest MBR race data shows that black women are at nearly 3 times the risk of maternal death compared with white women, with reports identifying systemic failures, poorer care, bias, racism, and delayed diagnosis as contributing factor in this disparity. A study carried out by scientists at the University of Oxford found that people with Middle Eastern and North African backgrounds needed to send 90% more job applications than white British people. Another study from Oxford University in 2024 found that job applicants with black-sounding names were also half as likely to receive a call back for a job interview. The UK's professional body for HR, the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development, reported in 2025 that employees from Black, Asian, mixed race, and other minority ethnic backgrounds earned 12.1% less at the median hourly pay level and 14.4% less on average mean pay. On top of the standard form of blatant racism, black and brown people in the UK also experience institutional racism, structural racism, indirect discrimination, systemic racism, unconscious bias, and microaggressions as a uniformity. So I can't read that word because of that speech bubble. Hang on. Oh, I can move it. As an unfortunate way of life. I didn't know you could move those. That's handy. That's good to know, actually. Obviously, some white people will experience some form of prejudice towards them, but to come out and label white people as the biggest victims of racism in Britain is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Zia Yusuf's continuous efforts to lick arse the very people who would deport him is fucking wild. Zia Yusuf is full to the brim of absolute bullshit. And then he says, please support my work. And if you can support his work, please do so. And do give him a follow on Instagram. He goes on to say in the comments, literally shut the fuck up. Even on the surface level, Zia Yusuf's comments fall to pieces. Fucking idiots. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Spot on as always. I don't think Zia Yusuf really believes that white people are the biggest victims of racism in this country. He's just saying that to get racists to vote for reform. It's just a dog whistle. That's all it is. It's just a dog whistling to racists, pure and simple. But let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Okay, one last story, and that's And that's it. I'll call it a night. This story is from Dems Might. Trump is not okay. Trump is not okay, and everybody knows it. The article says this. We've said this before, but Trump is really not okay. He's struggling, and you can see it. The media is not paying attention. It's almost like they don't care. Hell, they're even ignoring it. But the truth is, no matter how hard they all try to deny it, the signs are clear. And this is not just an exaggeration or some repetitive story, it's the truth. Trump is unwell, deteriorating quickly, and the media chooses to ignore this reality because they're terrified of reporting the truth. And that's true. Trump is constantly falling asleep in meetings. He's constantly falling asleep during presses. He always has these weird black markings on his hands. He's got this horrible red rash on his neck. And to listen to him ramble on and on, it's clear that he has dementia. Not to mention the fact that his mouth is always drooping on one side, which is a clear sign that he's had a stroke, albeit a minor one. He's not well. He's not well at all. He's on his way out, guys. He's on his way out. He needs to walk into the light. You know, the sooner the better. Or the very least, he needs to retire. They need to enact the 25th Amendment and let him retire, because he's not well. He is not well. It's undeniable now. He's sick. It's not just wrinkles and tired faces. Donald Trump is pretty much falling apart before our very eyes. Swollen feet, thinning hair, dark spots on his hand, random rashes, moving slowly, out of focus, and falling asleep at pretty much every press conference. It's embarrassing. And to think this is the same guy that mocked Sleepy Joe for 4 years, but Joe Biden was in far better shape when he was president than Trump is now in his second term, with barely a year and some months in. And we've got some footage here.
Offenses or deadly accidents. Our work, however, has not just been about arrests and the seizure of illegal
He's
firearms
gone.
and narcotics. Our Tennessee National Guard partners have made a significant impact
Gordon
while
Bennett.
serving on the task force by administering several
He's
life-saving
napping.
doses of
There's no
narcotics
doubt about it.
to overdose victims.
That is not blinking, guys.
Chasing down and detaining a fleeing murder suspect on
Bloody
Christmas
hell.
Day, and providing for offenses
Oops.
or deadly accidents.
Yeah. He's sleeping. He's definitely asleep. He's fast asleep there. That's Don, Sleepy Don, Snoozing Don, caught falling asleep yet again at another press conference, a sign that has become all too common in Trump's second term. But this problem began even before the old man was sworn in again. Even during the campaign back in 2024, there were signs that Trump was really struggling to keep up. And keep in mind, this is the most protected man in the world, the most taken care of, with the best healthcare, the best doctors, access to experimental medicine. He's got it all, and still, it looks like he might not be able to complete his second term in full. And it's true, isn't it? That is true. He keeps needing to see the doctor. He keeps needing to pay visits to the hospital. He keeps having to take cognitive tests. I just think it's hilarious when he boasts about how many times he's aced these cognitive tests, as if that's a W for him, as if that's something to boast about. It isn't. The reason why Obama or Joe Biden didn't ace these cognitive tests is because they didn't need them. It's because doctors weren't worried about their cognitive decline. The only reason he's taken these tests is because the doctors are worried about him. He's worried about his cognitive decline, about his dementia. But he thinks it's a win that he's aced these tests. Ridiculous. The article goes on. Just look at him. He's never looked worse. Deep down, he wants a way out. He constantly speaks about his fear of tripping, more often these days, due to his deteriorated state. He even compliments former President Obama for his ability to go down Air Force One so fast and smoothly. He talked about how he doesn't believe he'll go into heaven. Sounded paranoid about taking blood thinners. Yeah, and there was that one weekend he disappeared where everybody thought he was dead. And since this article was written, he disappeared for about a week as well, and everyone thought he was dead. And look, I was talking about that earlier. You know, this horrible red rash on his neck there. What's that all about? Hideous. Well, when you look like that, it's hard not to think you can go away any minute. Look, there's nothing easy about aging, but Donald Trump, he gets no mercy. This is the same sicko that mocked the recent passing of former FBI Director Robert Mueller. Trump has pretty much given us every green light to mock him endlessly and to celebrate bigly when the day comes. And that day is coming. Oh, it's coming. He is not well. Trump is not just on blood thinners. No way. He's on some other shit too. You bet your ass he is. And look, there's the black bruising on his hand there. The truth is, it's hard to imagine Trump in 2028. Hell, it's even hard to picture him by the end of this year. He's deteriorating quickly. With Trump, it's not just about the age, it's about how out of shape he is. It's the fact that he's never exercised a day in his life. It's the fact that he eats junk food non-stop, like a good little piggy, but he sure thinks those Diet Cokes will do the trick. That's funny. And let's not forget the hate, anger, stress. It's all aging him badly, like milk. The pressure of the office, nobody gets saved from it. He laughed at Joe Biden. Now we all get to laugh at him. But look, you might think it's not serious or serious enough. Realistically, no one really knows when Trump's time will come. And perhaps there's some collateral beauty behind that. We get to watch him fall apart little by little, slowly. We get to see him struggle more, tripping going up the stairs on Air Force One, falling asleep in front of the same crowd that mocked Joe Biden. We get to see some parts of the media ridicule him for it, even if only a smaller sector of the media chooses to. Trump just going away quickly might not be what he deserves after all. I think it's clear to see that Trump is sick in body and mind. and he's not long for this world. And really, he should retire so that he can die gracefully in the comfort of his own home. But let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, this brings us to the end of On the On the Sofa Live Extra. Thank you for watching. And if you've made it this far, do subscribe, hit the bell icon, and do leave a comment, because that really helps me out with the algorithm. Okay, bye for now.